Okay, so when I left off last week, I was looking at buying a scooter. I'm not looking at them quite so closely now because one of my friends has offered to sell me a car at less than the cost of a scooter. Not a terribly nice car, but it runs, and it's nicer than the car I currently have, which is no car. So, I'm interested. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not getting in over my head and I'm not buying something that's going to break down halfway home. So, just trying to be very careful because everyone knows I don't work with big margins for error. I'm also I have a light work week this week, so I've been using the time to do other stuff that I would not normally have the time to do, most of it crafting. This is a bigger windmill. It doesn't turn so well when I blow on it because it's so big and I can't blow but so much. I haven't had the chance to test it using a fan yet, but it's big enough that I can make an actual generator out of it. I, I can put a magnet here and wire coils and all that. So that is my next big step with the windmill, is making an actual generator and not just this little thing, which is a nice little toy, but it doesn't, and it demonstrates everything important, but can't put a magnet on here, it's too small. So, I'm working on something that will let me do what I want to do. I'm planning to take the small one with me on my trip. Most of my week is being dominated by my trip that I'm taking this weekend. I'm going to take the small one with me as a sort of conversation demo piece for the person who I'm going to be talking to this weekend. The interviewer, except not real interview, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's the dog in the background. So, I'm taking the small one because it's easier to carry, because that thing would need like its own box. And that one's also not done yet. So, and it's also not working yet. So I'm kind of like, yeah, let's not take that particular one this time. But I'm on my way to doing something, to being ready. I'm looking at the weather for the trip, and it looks like it's going to be cold and wet and kind of icky when I get there. So I'm going to be prepared, sort of, with whatever I happen to be able to get. I've been looking at replacing my key. I know it's around here somewhere, but somewhere isn't in my hand. So, I'm looking at replacing my key. There's one or two other places I can check before I do that, but I'm just gonna suck it up and have another house key made. And Miku will hold on to it for me, so it won't get lost again. The other big thing I'm looking at is a camera. I definitely want to have a camera for my trip. I need to find it if I'm going to find it, because I think it's around here. I know it's around here somewhere, but somewhere, again, isn't in my hand. So I'm going to see if I can dig that up. That one ought to be easier to find, but where is it? So my life is mostly being taken over by this small trip I'm taking, but that's kind of okay. I've got more time. That's part of why I put this trip here. It did interfere with my tutoring a little bit, but most of the families were not too bothered by that. But I've got to make sure I take care of myself. I can't keep working at a part-time job that doesn't pay my bills in order to not go on interviews and take advantage of opportunity when it comes knocking. One of the things I'm learning is opportunity doesn't knock but once. So I'm trying to take advantage of every chance I get now. Yeah, other than applying for a couple of small jobs at places that probably won't hire me, but I'm going to apply anyway, I haven't got too much else to say. This is my tube for carrying paper. I'm planning to do some arts and crafts while I'm on the train, practice my sketching and crochet because I have a lot of time, can't go anywhere, and I'll have the space for it because this place is crowded, as if the train is not.